Hello students, welcome once again. Let us continue our chapter number 3 of geography, that is tides. My dear students, in the previous lecture we learnt effects of tides that are positive and negative. With the high tides, fish move into the creeks and this helps fishing activity is the positive effects, whereas lack of an understanding of the timing of high tide and low tide may cause accidents to swimmers entering the sea. It is the negative effect of the tide. My dear students, in this lecture, we are going to learn about how the waves form, and we also going to learn the structure of waves, velocity of waves, and the effects of waves. Try this. Take a wide open large dish. Keep the dish on a table or a flat surface. Fill water in the dish up to the rim. We have to generate waves in the dish. My dear students, do the activity at home. Observe it and write the answer of the following questions. Question number first. Is it possible to generate waves without touching or shoving the dish? Try doing so. Second, in what different ways can you generate waves in the dish? Dear students, do the activity, observe it, and write down the answer of these questions. Now, let us learn the formation of waves. Dear students, if you blow air over hot milk or tea while drinking, ripples are generated on the milk or the tea. Ripples means a moving disturbance into the surface of a liquid. Dear students, you drink a milk or tea every day. While drinking hot tea or milk, you have to blow air over it, and you can observe ripples are generated on the milk or the tea. In the same way, because of the force of the wind, water appears to be moving. My dear students, because of the force of the wind, the water appears to be moving. Means wind is the reason to create waves. The sea water gets pushed by the wind and ripples are generated on the water surface. These are called waves. Dear students, what are waves? Remember, the sea water gets pushed by the wind and ripples are generated on the water surface. It's considered as waves. The sea water moves up and down or slightly forward and backward due to the waves. The waves bring the energy contained in them to the coast. They break in the shallow waters near the coast. Large or small waves are formed continuously at the surface of the sea. My dear students, the sea water moves up and down. When it moves up and down, the energy was generated, and this energy creates the waves. They break in the shallow water which is near the coast, and in this way large or small waves are formed continuously at the surface of the sea. Generation of waves is a natural and regularly occurring phenomenon too. My dear students, as you can see this figure, you notice that the waves generated regularly, it occurs continuously. It is the natural phenomenon. The waves do not take break. Dear students, now we are going to learn about structure of the waves. The sea water get pushed up and down because of the wind. Dear students, here the waves has two major parts. As you can see the figure, here you will notice two parts are crest and trough. Now, what is crest and what is trough? Let us see. A raised up portion of a wave is called crest. Raised up portion means upward part. In short, the upward part of wave is called crest, and the depressed one is called trough. My dear students, depressed means downward part. Remember, the downward part is called trough. Dear students, keep in mind, the upper part of a wave is called crest, whereas the downward part is considered as trough. You will be asked the question such as, what is considered as crest and what is the considered as trough? If a strong wind is blowing in one direction, large waves are generated. Whether a strong wind is blowing in one direction, that time a large wave is generated. Now, the vertical distance between a crest and the following trough is called the amplitude of the wave, whereas the distance between two successive crests or troughs is called wave length. The students, as you can see the figure of wavelength of waves, you will notice that the vertical distance between a crest and the following trough is considered as amplitude of the wave. whereas the distance between two crests or troughs is called wavelength. My dear students, please keep in mind, you will ask the question, what is considered as amplitude and what is considered as wavelength? The wavelength is amplitude and its velocity depend on the velocity of wind. My dear students, here the size and force of the sea waves depend on three factors such as the velocity of the wind, duration of the blowing wind, and the distance the wind covers in the open seas. If we stand at the coast, we feel the waves are coming toward the coast. This creates the velocity of waves. My dear students, we are going to learn about the velocity of waves. Here see the figure and imagine you are standing at the coast. What you will feel? Remember, if you stand at the coast, you feel the waves are coming towards the coast. If a floating object is thrown at a distance in the sea, you find the object moving up and down at the same place. It does not come to the coast. It means the water forming the wave also does not come to the coast. Remember that the water in the wave does not move. So what is moved there? The energy moves in the water. Dear students, here now we can see the main reasons of the generation of the waves. The main reason of wave generation is wind. But at times, due to earthquakes or volcanic eruptions occurring below the floor of the sea, waves get generated. Such waves assume a great height in the shallow waters near the coast. These waves are very destructive. They cause huge loss of property and life. As you can see the image of tsunami, the waves which are destructive and they cause huge loss of property and life. These waves are called tsunamis. In 2004, tsunami waves were generated because of the earthquake that took place near Sumatra Islands of Indonesia. They devastated the east coast of India as well as of Sri Lanka. My dear students, now we are going to learn the effects of waves. Dear students, effects are maybe positive or maybe negative. Let's see. The waves cause erosion along the headlands. This is the first reason. This is the first effect. The waves cause erosion along the headlands, and second effect is it creates beaches in the protected locations in the bays. Dear students, I hope you understood this chapter. In this way, means we learned about the tides, how the tides are generated, types of tides such as spring tide and neap tide, effects of tides, some are positive effect and some are negative effect, and in the last part we learned how the waves are formed. Then structure of the waves. We learnt also velocity of waves, about tsunamis, and at last we learnt the effects of waves. So my dear students, keep in mind all the parts. Read the lesson 1 or 2 times. Try to understand it. I put here assignment. Read the questions carefully. My dear students, first question we will solve in the class. Now here is the second question. Give geographical regions. Question number 3. Answer in brief. Question number 4 also we will solve in the class. Question number 5. Observe figure 3.8 of neap tide and answer the following questions. My dear students, here you have to observe the figure 3.8, which is of neap tide, and read the questions carefully and write the answers in your own words and in a good handwriting. Now, dear students, question number 6 already I had given you in the previous lecture. Question number 7 we will see in the class. Now, dear students, please, tomorrow we will conduct the test of civics of 20 marks based on lesson number 1st and 2nd. Tomorrow we will not begin a new chapter of any subject, that is history or civics, but we will conduct the test of civics of 20 marks based on 1st and 2nd lesson. So my dear students, prepare these lessons, read the lessons carefully and solve the test. Thank you and have a nice day.